Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm really excited to be showing you the new Amicus TimeTracker. Amicus TimeTracker brings Amicus Attorney to your mobile phone or tablet. Now you can see and do your time entries on your smartphone anytime, anywhere. Let's face it, these days, work doesn't just happen in the office. Smartphones mean you can work almost anywhere. You have billable phone calls and you do emails on your client files in all sorts of places using your phone. In fact, you probably do that almost every day. That's great, but the problem is when you do billable work with your phone, you want to charge for it. All too often, by the time you next get into the office, you've forgotten about a call or email you did on your phone. So the convenience of your phone for doing work is costing you money if you fail to record the time. That's why Amicus TimeTracker is so great. It lets you do your time entries right on your phone with just a few touches, so you capture your billable time that you were losing before. And it's just so convenient. Alright, enough talking, let's have a look. This on your screen is Amicus TimeTracker. It's running on an iPhone. Well, actually, I'm using an emulator so I can record this video. It's even easier to use on an iPhone because I have to use a mouse pretending to be an iPhone. By the way, it also runs on Android phones and Blackberries, or of course on tablets like iPads. What we're looking at here is my list of timesheets for the past week or so. It's a list that scrolls up and down, so just using my thumbs I can scroll it up and down and see my time entries for the past week. It's great because I see each day with a gray heading here. So I did some time entries on my phone on Sunday. I had a client call Sunday afternoon. And you can see for the day the total was 0.6 and there was that phone call. A phone call I probably would have forgotten to record otherwise. Friday, of course, I had a busier day. 7.2 hours in total. And here you can see the different time entries in the list that I did on Friday, scrolling up and down for the different days, and there's Thursday and so on before that. And down at the bottom I see a running total for whatever time period I've selected. I can choose to see a list of just today's time entries, the last few days, week, or the currently running billable month so that I can always see how I'm doing this month for my billable time right there on my phone. When I want to edit any of these, I just touch it with my fingers or click on it with my mouse and I open it up and see it. Before we start to do that, in the background you can see I've got Amicus Small Firm running. So here it is, I'm running as Bobby Donnell, and if I go in and open my timesheets, here's my timesheets. So I have nothing yet on today, it's Monday. Let's go in, there's Sunday, there's that 0.6 hour phone call that I had with the client on Sunday. Or let's go back to Friday. There's the 7.2 billable hour entries we saw all on the phone. So 1.5, 0.5, 2.1, 3.1. If we bring up the phone, there they are. You can see them matching. They're not quite in the same order, but you can see all the exact same time entries on my phone as there are in my Amicus Attorney. That's because they're real-time connected. The one is reading from the other, so all the time I see my time entries on my phone or on my desktop Amicus Attorney, whichever way I want to do it. Alright, let's put a new one in. It's so easy to do it. All you do is with your thumb, touch the plus sign, and you've added a new one. First, of course, you need to say what file it's on. Maybe this one's on WidgetCo. And you can see it's going to default it to today's date. If I wanted to change the date, I can use a little month pop-up, but we'll leave it at today. Duration is so easy to put in. You just touch it, and using the typical scrolling wheels you see in these smartphones, you just pick whatever amount of time you've put in. Activity codes or activity descriptions are available to me here. I mean, you may not use these and you don't have to. If you like the activity codes because they give you short little summaries, you can put that in. Or if you use task-based billing, the task-based billing codes for the particular file you've selected will appear there and you can select one of those. Then of course all you have to do is put in your description. Here's where it's very easy to type and make a mistake, and when you're done, your time entry is done. So there you can see my time entry. I've just with a few touches put in the file, the date, the time, an activity code, the description. I click save and it pops it back on my list. There it is, For Monday, January 21st, remember we had none in for today yet, but there's my call with my client 1.4, just like that. Or as we said, you can go back and edit previous ones. So for example, the Sunday one, maybe I really spent a little bit longer than that because after the phone call I went back and did some work on it. All I have to do is touch it, it opens it up, I can change anything I want right here, and when I'm done, click Save, and it's back there on the list. So easy and fast. Now, as I said before, all of this isn't just here on my phone. It's being saved real time back on my Amicus attorney at the office. I don't have to synchronize or I don't have to wait until I'm next in the office. It's an instant live connection. The second I click Save, it sends it back to my Amicus attorney back at the office. By the way, that sending or that transmission is 256-bit encrypted, so it's totally secure and safe. Nothing's being stored on the cloud. It goes straight from my phone into my office server, which means that my assistant or colleagues back in the office will see these time entries within a minute or so of me putting them in. And that means if I'm on the road, the matter can be billed and include all this time without me ever returning to the office. Let's have a look. I'll just click back here. There were the time entries from Friday, and you can see here Sunday, and there's one from today. So remember, on our phone, we just put one in for 1.4 widget code call with client, and it's right there in our Amicus attorney at the office, ready to go. Really, that's it in a nutshell. Simple, easy to use. Just use your thumbs and a couple of touches and you put in your time entries or edited old ones. There's almost no setup involved. Just a couple of boxes to check in your administrator to enable it. So now with Amicus TimeTracker, no matter where you are or what you're doing, if you have a smartphone, you can record your billable time, which means you're going to capture billable time you were losing before. That's what it's all about, convenience. Thanks for listening. I hope you found it helpful.